Chapter 2 Echoes of Ferralis. The village buzzed with the sounds of daily life, the chatter of merchants, the rhythmic hammering of a blacksmith, and the distant calls of seagulls from the shore. Amidst the bustling streets, Caelion and Arlenna walked side by side, waving through the narrow alleys. The scent of salt and freshly baked bread lingered in the air. Arlenna glanced at Caelion, curiosity flickering in her eyes. "What do you want to be in life?" she asked, tucking a stray strand of orange-brown hair behind her ear. Caelion let out a thoughtful sigh, gazing towards the distant sea. "I have a good life here with my father, but when I'm sailing I feel something else, freedom. The world is vast, and I want to see it for myself." Arlenna's expression darkened slightly. "You know the mainland is nothing like Solus, right? There is always war between the regions. Do you really want to go there?" "I know I have it good here," Caelion admitted. "Solus is probably one of the few places in Syldarra untouched by war. But my father, he used to be a soldier. He served in the army of Solmera long before he became a fisherman. After the war, he lived in a small village called Ferralis for years. That's where he met my mother." Arlenna tilted her head. "Wait, you were born there?" Caelion nodded. "Yeah, my father doesn't talk about it much, but he always tells me about the family we had there. He came to Solus with me 14 years ago." Arlenna frowned. "But what happened to your mother?" Caelion's steps slowed. His voice was quieter now. "War came to Ferralis. Ferralis was a strategic village. They mined iron at the border, an important resource. When the war reached the village, everything happened so fast. My father was working in the fields when the soldiers arrived. He ran to the house where I was, still a baby, sleeping in my cradle. He always carried a farming knife in his pocket, a habit from his years as a soldier. When 3 soldiers stormed through the front door, he had no choice but to fight. He took down 2 of them before the 3rd managed to cut him. Wounded and knowing reinforcements would arrive any second, he grabbed me and fled." Arlenna's eyes widened. "What about your mother?" "She was at the market in the center of town," Caelion murmured. "My father never found her. He stopped in an inn for the night after escaping the village, still bleeding from his wounds. That's where he overheard a group of soldiers talking about their mission, how Ferralis had been burned to the ground, and they were going to take it back." He exhaled slowly, eyes focused on the ground. "After that, he gave up fighting. He always told me that if he went back to look for my mother, he might have never returned, and then I would have grown up without a father. He had already lost so much to the war. He wasn't willing to lose more." Arlenna clenched her fists. "I wish people could just accept each other's differences. Why does there always have to be some idiot who wants more land or resources?" Caelion let out a hollow chuckle. "That's something I ask myself every day, but I don't think I will ever get an answer." They walked in silence for a moment. Then Caelion spoke again. "You know, I do want to explore the world one day, but first I think I need to visit Ferralis. I want to know what really happened to my mother and my home." "You be careful, right?" Arlenna asked, nudging his arm. "I can't lose my best friend." Caelion smirked. "Of course, I know my way around the sword. My father taught me a few things, just in case Solus ever needs defending. And maybe I'll learn magic someday, to keep enemies at a distance." "Speaking of which, you know healing magic, right?" Arlenna grinned. "Of course, I learned it at a young age. My mother had the same kind of magic. It comes in handy when you're someone like me. Always climbing rocks, running through forests, getting cuts and bruises along the way." Caelion raised a brow. "You really go into the forest alone? What about the wolves and the bears?" Arlenna shrugged. "I carry a knife just in case, but I can also create barriers around me with magic. So I'm not too worried. Once I ran into a wolf. The moment it saw my barrier, it turned tail and ran." Caelion chuckled. Smart wolf. They had reached the outskirts of the village now, where the roads gave way to dirt paths leading into the dense forest. A cool mist lingered between the trees, swirling around their feet. "Speaking of the forest," Caelion said, "you never actually told me where we were going." Arlenna flashed a playful smile. "We're searching for a deer antler." "A deer antler?" Caelion blinked. "Aren't those incredibly rare?" "They are," Arlenna admitted, "but I need one for the Endless Dawn festival. If I find a real one, I will really stand out from the others. Caelion patted his side, feeling only the small fishing knife strapped to his belt. I didn't bring my sword, but with your magic I think we'll be fine. His gaze wandered to the forest ahead, a thick mist curling between the trees. He had never seen it this foggy before. The shadows of the trees stretched unnaturally long in the dim light. A strange feeling crept over him. The forest looks different today, he muttered. Almost mysterious. Arlenna waved off his concern. It's probably just the weather. No need to worry, we'll be fine. The two of them stepped forward, vanishing into the mist.